Welcome to Judgment Pocket, to make content and make you smile alike. Gaming and narration is what they do, with fun and games for everyone too.
Hello everyone. Jim asked me to give you the full history and lore in No Man's Sky. We are starting the history lesson with the Gek. This is the full lore and history of this race, please enjoy. The first spawn is an ancient Gek empire, and a name of a subspecies of the Gek that has dominated nearly the entire Euclid galaxy. The other Gek subspecies was named Low Spawn. The plaques of the Korvax and Gek help provide an understanding of these early races and their history. Expansion and the peak of power. Gek were once led by an impulsive and aggressive first spawn that observed the ongoing war between Vy'keen and the Sentinels. When Vy'keen finally won the endless war, starting silence of the Sentinels, the first spawn proceeded with their first invasion of an alien race. This is known as the Great Disconnection to the Korvax. During this, the Korvax's main neural networking hub, the Convergence, was almost completely annihilated, and their home and capital planet, Korvax Prime, was itself shredded into asteroid-esque chunks, killing billions of unborn and elderly Korvax alike, whose deaths were collectively witnessed by the survivors. The Erins tried to help, but failed the Korvax that worshipped them so dearly, resulting in their banishment by Atlas and replacement by the modern-day Sentinels. Quoted: "The outer edge burns at the hands of the Gek first spawn. Our enemies are broken. We are the extinguishers of hope. In our wake we leave only the lamentations of the conquered. We fear nothing." Enslaving the majority of the members of the Korvax species was seen by the first spawn as an act of mercy, when the Korvax were put into horrific conditions of slavery, abused, and neglected even into destruction, with their robotic bodies stripped, examined, and melted down into more equipment for the first spawn's war effort. In the spawning pools of Balern, hundreds of enslaved Korvax entities sacrificed themselves in desperation and used their nanite clusters, which run in Korvax veins, like blood, to rewrite the genetic code of first spawn embryos. They installed the devotion to the Atlas in their minds and made them into a commerce-focused race instead of conquerors and warriors. This created the modern Gek race, and ultimately led to the downfall of the first spawn empire. Korvax priesthood. Later, the Korvax's Atlas priesthood began to quietly gain the trust of, and eventually convert, members of the Gek merchant community. There even came a point where certain high-ranking emissaries of the Gek were personally brought to the interfaces of the then-dormant Atlas, where, as a result of their altered genetics, the once fanatically devoted individuals became humbled by their insignificance in comparison to this infinite deity machine. Eventually, as the new Gek became more numerous, members of the merchant community began to question the first spawn's methods, beliefs, and sanity. Internal uprising. An entire uprising then took place where the highly coordinated Korvax laborers began to openly rebel from within the Dominion's center with almost no response from local garrison forces. Crippled by this sudden loss of production, the unedited first spawn's forces turned inward in an attempt to shut the rebellion down, only to be met with sudden and confusing resistance from dissident governors and once compliant merchants. Now crippled financially and industrially, the first spawn were promptly set upon by the resurgent Sentinels, no longer the Erins, having been reincarnated by Atlas after their failure during the disconnection. Sandwiched between a dissident homeland and a merciless aggressor, the first spawn's now irreplaceable forces were crushed flat, culminating in a final particularly violent rebellion on Balern, where the first spawn's specially crafted spawning pools were dredged of their infants and dried, leaving them to expire gasping in the sand. With the elimination of the last few holdouts within the Dominion, the merchant class of the Gek declared the Korvax's freedom, allied with them and their god, Atlas, and stagnated their borders to their present extent, solidifying the new Gek Trade Federation as a vast corporate juggernaut rather than as an expansionistic empirical junta. Possible return. Some NPC interaction added in the Atlas Rises update suggests that some first spawn Gek might still be found in Gek society. A large enough disruption in an area close to a first spawn may drive it out of hiding. At Colossal Archives in Gek systems, one or two reference the Gek last spawn, Traveler Soul Collectors, as the Celestial Archives in those buildings references a hidden spirit. This is the history of the Gek in No Man's Sky. I really hope you enjoyed the story and lore of this interesting race, and can I thank you all for watching the video, and the next race will be the Vy'keen. Thanks for watching.
Jim and Vi, oh, just Jim and Vi. They will make you smile alive. racing is what they do, with fun and games for everyone too. Oh, just Jim and Bob.